This video is sponsored by Card Trader, a global marketplace where you can buy and sell TCG cards like the Pokemon trading card game. Please use my code POPNIGHT24 at checkout where you can get 5% off your first purchase. A link will be in the description below. Thank you again to Card Trader for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Team Rocket's Weezing from the Destined Rivals expansion set. This Weezing is actually one of my most anticipated cards to test out in the new set. What makes Team Rocket's Weezing really good is its attack Explode Together now. For 1 dark and 1 colorless energy, it deals 40 damage for each Pokemon in play that has Koffing or Weezing in its name. While you do have to consider that you can only have 4 copies of any Pokemon with the same name in your deck, Team Rocket's Koffing and Team Rocket's Weezing are technically different from the regular Koffing and Weezing. So with that in mind, you can actually have up to 8 Pokemon on the field with Koffing and Weezing in their names. And with that much multiplier, you can actually deal as much as 320 damage, which is good enough to one-hit knock out most Stage 2 EX Pokemon in the game. But even if you don't expand your bench, you can still hit for a maximum of 240 damage, which can still 2-hit knock out any high HP Pokemon in the game. You can easily energize Team Rocket's Weezing with the help of Team Rocket's Energy. You can only attach this to Team Rocket's Pokemon, but this will provide 2 in any combination of Dark and Psychic energies. Just keep in mind though that there is no way to recover these special energies, so use them sparingly. To expand our bench, I'll be using Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX with a combination of Area 0 Underdepth Stadium card. Cornerstone is just really great for blocking attacks from Pokemon with abilities on them, so its survivability is really high, and of course, it will serve as our Terra Pokemon to activate Area 0 Stadium. Team Rocket's Koffing is worth noting too, since it can help you set up more Pokemon on your bench. It has the Smog Signals ability. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it is knocked out, search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon that have Koffing in their name and put them onto your bench. But as for my other Weezing, I'll be using this one with the Let's Have a Blast ability. While this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attack, you flip a coin and if it's heads, the attacking Pokemon will instantly get knocked out. With a little bit of good RNG, you can easily even out the price trade. I do only have 1 copy of Defiance Band as an attack modifier. If you have more prizes remaining than your opponent, you can increase your Pokemon's attack by 30 more damage with this tool card. That little bit of attack may just allow you to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. And as for my spec card, I'll be using Precious Trolley. This allows you to search your deck for as many basic Pokemon as you want and put them straight to your bench. This may just help you instantly set up a bunch of Koffings on your bench, tremendously increasing the attack damage output for Team Rocket's Weezing. Surprisingly enough, Team Rocket's Weezing is low-key super powerful if you can set it up perfectly. The biggest challenge for this build I think is just finding the right momentum so that you can set up your board when you need it. But besides that, this is actually a really decent single price attacker. But enough talk, let me just show you guys how this build works. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. On to our first match. I'm going to start this one with Team Rocket's Koffing in the active spot. My opponent's going to mulligan twice, and we're going against a grass type build with Sinistcha. We can draw 2 extra cards from their mulligan, and they're going to start with Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. We drew into a Fastendipity EX, but I don't want to put it into play right now, and I'm going to hold my hand, so I'm just going to end my turn. And I'm not too scared whether or not my opponent can knock out my Koffing with an attack, if they can attack on their first turn going second, because its ability will actually activate the moment they hit our Koffing. We can search our deck for 2 Koffings and put it straight to our bench, which means if they knock out our Pokemon, that will activate Reversal Energy, and we have a backup attacker that we can evolve into our Team Rocket's Weezing. So for now, my opponent's trying to set up here. They're going to use Squawkabilly EX to draw into more cards, but they're just gonna end their turn. Alright, they couldn't attack. Alright, we got Team Rocket's Energy though, and we can evolve into Team Rocket's Weezing. Look at this. You know what guys, as long as the trolley is not prized, we can actually take a knockout here. Let's go ahead and use our Arven. There it is, we got Precious Trolley. And we should have enough Koffing in the deck to actually fill our bench. So for my tool card, I'm just gonna get rescue board. And let's go ahead and use our trolley. Get a bunch of Koffing out here. Do we need to fill our bench though? So we're dealing 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 200. Plus the one in the active. Yeah, we need to fill our bench to actually get a knockout against this Ogerpon. Otherwise, we're only dealing 200 damage. There it is, guys. Explode together now. 240 damage, knocking out their Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. It's so explosive. That's why I really like the Precious Trolley in this build. Normally, I would get Cornerstone Ogerpon EX because we already have Area 0 Under Depths in play. But there was no way for us to search for another Koffing to get that knockout. So filling up our bench is good. We got our 2 prizes. And if my opponent knocks out our Weezing, it should be fine. We could just get an Ogerpon and then expand our bench. But no, they're just going to go with Badoo to item lock us. But that's okay. We can just keep attacking. See what we could do here. I think I'm just gonna start powering up my other Team Rocket's Koffing. I'll just take a knockout against this Badoo, get us another prize. There it is, Team Rocket's energy. So we can fully energize another Weezing. And with no Badoo, we can use our Ultra Ball to get another Team Rocket's Weezing to evolve. And we should be good to go. Alright, you're gonna get 2 more Teal Mask Ogerpon. And with Sinistcha, so the single price Sinistcha can attack for up to 200 plus damage depending on how many energies you discard from your Pokemon. But they're gonna go with Sinistcha EX, alright. They're gonna use Rebrew for 1 colorless energy. They deal 120 damage and also shuffles all the energies from the discard pile back to their deck. So they get a prize that empties out our bench. And again, with the Area 0 Under Depths, I think it would be okay for us to set up an Ogerpon. I'm gonna use Ultra Ball, get our Cornerstone. That will expand our bench because Area 0 is already in play. And since my opponent knocked out one of our Pokemon, we can actually use Flip the Script to draw into more cards. We got Weezing. Nice. And I have no other choice but to use Team Rocket's energy. And I think we should be fine. Yeah, 240 damage is enough to actually knock out this Sinistcha EX. So I'm just gonna attach the rescue board on Ogerpon, and I'm gonna get another Team Rocket's Weezing, evolve this, and I'm just gonna take a knockout here. 240 damage for another knockout against an EX Pokemon, getting us another 2 prizes. And we just need 1 more prize. My opponent has not even gotten another prize against us, so I think we should be okay. They will take a knockout against our Team Rocket's Weezing, but it doesn't matter. We have Team Rocket's energy. We can just refill our bench. We have Professor's Research to draw into more cards, and we can just easily fill our bench and deal a lot of damage. So my opponent doesn't really have a lot of choice. They just take a knockout against our Team Rocket's Weezing. I'm just gonna pivot into Ogerpon just in case. I'm gonna attach the Team Rocket's energy, and we're only dealing 200, but you know what? We can just boss this Squawkabilly EX for a guaranteed knockout. Explode together now, knocking it out, getting us our last prize to win the game. Alright, good game. Moving on now to our second match. I had to mulligan twice, and I think I'm gonna start with Cleffa in the active spot. We also have Koffing on our bench, and our opening hand doesn't look all that great. And we're going against Cynthia's Garchomp EX. This is actually one of our worst matchups, just mainly because of the high HP. We got an Arvin with a Pokegear, and I think I'm going to hold off on the Ultra Ball because I don't really want to discard anything else. So I'm just going to end my turn here. But yeah, gauging this matchup, we can't one-hit knockout their Garchomp EX because with Cynthia's Power Weight to add plus 70 HP at 400 HP max, all we can deal with Team Rocket's Weezing is 320 or 350 even with the Defiance Band. So we'll probably just have to two-hit knockout their Garchomp EX if anything, and probably just rely on Weezing with the Let's Have a Blast ability. If they knock it out, maybe we can take along their Garchomp EX, take 2 prizes while they only take 1. For now though, they will use TM Evolution to evolve into 2 Cynthia's Gabites on their bench. Let's go ahead and evolve into Weezing. We can power up its attack. And I'm going to use Arvin to get Precious Trolley. Thankfully it wasn't prized. And I'll just get Rescue Board just to thin my deck. So let's go ahead and use Trolley. We're going to get Cornerstone, Koffing, and 2 Team Rockets Koffing as well. And I'm just going to attack here with Weezing. Spinning Fumes deals 50 damage to the active and also 10 damage to their benched Pokemon. So hopefully these chip damage will make it easier for us to knock out their high HP Pokemon. But also, that will pressure them. If they do knock out our Weezing, we can flip a coin. Hopefully with good RNG, we can take along whatever knocks out our Weezing. But with Champion's Call, they can search their deck for any Cynthia's Pokemon. They evolve into Cynthia's Roast Raid, increasing all of Cynthia's Pokemon's attacks by 30 more damage. And there it is, Cynthia's Garchomp EX at 400 HP. That's insane. But they're just gonna attack with Gabite. That's right, Weezing is weak against fighting, and we failed that coin flip. We couldn't even take along this Gabite along with our Weezing. So my opponent takes their first prize. Let's go ahead and use Nest Ball. We can't really work with this hand, so we need to draw into more cards with Fessendipity's Flip the Script. Alright, we got an Area 0 under depths to expand our bench. I think I'm gonna risk it, guys. I'll discard these 2, get Weezing, and Reversal Energy is in effect because we have more prizes left, more than our opponent. So I'm just gonna attack with it. We can take out this Gabite in the active, and with Arvin, I'm just gonna get Buddy Buddy Poffin and Defiance Band. And I think I'm gonna set up 2 more Koffings on my bench just to set up my Weezing or Team Rocket's Weezing next turn. I'm gonna knock out this Gabite, take our first prize, and we got Counter Catcher. Nice. So they're gonna promote their Garchomp EX in the active. So if they try to knock out our Weezing, hopefully we can flip heads and take out this Garchomp. But they're gonna replace our Area 0. Now we have to discard our Pokemon from our bench until we only have 5 left. And I think I'm just gonna discard my Ogerpon and also Cleffa because they are a liability. But they're gonna use Unfair Stamp, and that leaves us with just Team Rocket's Energy and a basic Fighting. Man, okay. This is really tough matchup. They already have 2 Roast Raids to increase their attack by 60 more damage. Alright, they're just gonna attack. And they're gonna knock out our Weezing, but we flip a coin. Let's have a blast, come on. Yes! So that's gonna instantly knock out their Garchomp EX. They take 1 prize, but we take 2. Alright. So we're ahead in the prize trade right now. And all we have to do is just hopefully our board state is gonna continue to be consistent, and we just need to build up all of our Koffing and Weezing and our attackers and constantly just knock out their Pokemon, and even just 2-hit knock out their Garchomp EX if anything. So I'm just gonna sacrifice everything with Professor's Research. Alright, we can replace their stadium. We do have Ogerpon to expand our bench. Let's go ahead and use Ultra Ball. We need our Team Rocket's Weezing to attack. So I'll discard these 2. evolve this. And we got Professor's Research. Nice. So we're just gonna explode together now, dealing 160 damage to knock out their Rose Raid. We get another prize. And my opponent still has 4 prizes to go. So as long as everything goes according to plan, we can just 2-hit knock out their Garchomp EX, and we should have enough time to take 2 prizes, right? That's the plan anyways. They're gonna use Champion's Call to get Cynthia's Garchomp EX. But you know what, guys? It really doesn't help that we are weak against fighting. They're gonna boss my Fecundipity EX, and that's actually weak against fighting as well. So my opponent's gonna take 2 prizes. They easily evened out the price trade, and we are left with our Weezing to attack. So I'm gonna use Super Rod to just recover as much basic Koffings as I can, and let's see here. I can try and energize my secondary attacker, use Professor's Research, and we got a Super Rod. Alright, Super Rod to recover Fecundipity, and our Team Rocket's Weezing. That way, all we have to do is draw into our Weezing and be able to attack next turn. So I'm going to evolve into another Weezing here. We just need another energy. Right, we should have more energies in the deck. So we're going to deal 200 damage against their Garchomp EX. So we just need one more hit against this Garchomp EX. But what I'm worried about is this Cynthia's Spiritomb, because it's a 1-prizer. All we need is a boss's orders to actually get that Garchomp EX to take a knockout. But they're going to use Iono. We're going to lose our Professor's Research. Alright, we got an energy for next turn. But if they knock out our Weezing, that's going to put them down to just 1 prize. We have Counter Catcher to get their Garchomp EX. We just need 1 more Koffing to increase our attack. And we got the wrong one! No! No! We're only dealing 160 damage. We need 180. Even if we knock out the Spiritomb with just a regular Weezing, I mean, we're just gonna lose it. There's... Oh, man. That Iono did us in, man. Oh, man. That was so close! That was so close. Wow. My opponent really played this well. I mean, this was the plan, right? Just to hit knock out their Garchomp EX. We have Counter Catcher. We just needed 1 more basic Koffing. But, yeah. All we can do is just explode together now. And we're 20 damage away from getting a knockout to win the game. But my opponent's just going to take the final knockout to get their last prize. That was a really close one though. But at least we had the strategy for winning this Garchomp. Alright, on to our 3rd and final match. I'll be starting this one with Koffing in the active spot. I did win the coin flip, and I will be going first. And our opening hand looks pretty decent. We have Buddy Buddy Poffin, we have Ultra Ball, and also Professor's Research. And my opponent's going to start with Marnie's Impidimp, so we're going against Grimmsnarl EX. Let's go ahead and start with Poffin. I'm going to set up 2 Team Rocket's Koffing on my bench. And I think I'm going to hold off on the Ultra Ball. And I'm just going to end my turn here. So Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX is actually one of the up-and-coming top-tier meta decks. Not sure why, but it's been winning. Probably because of the energy acceleration aspect to Grimmsnarl's design. My opponent's going to use Iono. Ooh, we got Precious Trolley and Area Zero. Alright, that's going to help us out for sure. You're going to set up 2 other basic Pokemon on their bench. They're going to retreat into Badoo. And they're just going to item lock us with Itchy Pollen. Alright. Unfortunately, we can't use our Precious Trolley now. And we got another Area Zero Stadium. Let's go ahead and put one in play. And... man, that messed up our setup here. I think I'm just going to put Basic Energy to Koffing. And at 4 cards in my opponent's hand, I don't really want to use Iono to give them more cards to work with going into their turn. But unfortunately, Koffing's attacks is not enough to knock out Badoo. But I'm just gonna tackle this guy, deal 10 damage, and go from there. At least that energy attached to Koffing will allow it to retreat. And we do have Team Rocket's energy, so we can probably just power up our Team Rocket's Koffing, finish off their Badoo. So my opponent's gonna evolve into Marnie's Morgrim, which is good. That means they can't evolve into Grimmsnarl just yet. They're gonna use Iono. And we got Ogerpon. Alright, nice. That's gonna help us expand our bench. We have Area 0. And for now, my opponent's gonna set up Snorunt and another Impidimp. So typical of Grimmsnarl EX combo is with the Frostlass lineup. With Frostlass in play, it puts 1 damage counter to all Pokemon with abilities on them every Pokemon checkup. So I guess the whole strategy for Grimmsnarl EX is to chip away at every Pokemon with abilities with Frostlass, and Grimmsnarl's attack also deals 30 damage to the bench Pokemon, so they can take multiple knockouts. So it's similar to Dragapult EX, but a little bit different. So I guess that's what makes it win as well. And for now, my opponent's going to use Secret Box. By discarding 3 cards from their hand, they can search their deck for 4 trainer cards, 1 support card, a stadium, a tool card, and an item card. Alright. They're going to attach the rescue board to Snorunt. Replace our stadium with Spikemuth Gym. That allows them to search their deck for any Marnie's Pokemon. So they can actually search out Grimmsnarl EX. But they can't evolve yet because they just evolve into their Morgrim. So they'll have to wait until next turn before they can evolve that. Thankfully. And they're just going to item lock us again. Okay. Alright, now it's our turn. We got another Area 0. But I don't feel like I want to play it yet. Although I could just prevent them from searching out any more Pokemon. So I'm just going to put Ogerpon in play. I'm just going to attach the Team Rocket's energy. Retreat this Koffing. And I'm just going to knock out their Badoo. I'm going to replace their stadium. And we're just going to attack with Leaking Gas. Deal 30 damage. Knock out their Badoo. At least we're going to be ahead in the price trade now. So we get 1 price for that. We got Team Rocket's Weezing. Alright, I'll take that. So I'm going to save up my Pokegear. Hopefully we can draw into something good next turn. Hopefully a Professor's Research. That way we can fill up our bench. At least we're not item locked anymore because we got rid of their Badoo. And there it is. Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. And that will activate the Funk Up ability, allowing them to search their deck for up to 5, I think it's 5 Dark Energies, and then attach them to their Marnie's Pokemon in any way they like. So that's what makes Grimmsnarl good too, is that you don't really have to worry about its energy. As long as you have energies in your deck, you can just search it out, fully energize Grimmsnarl's attack, and start attacking. And again, it has a lot of HP as well. We're going to use Professor's Research to draw into 7 more cards. They're going to evolve into another Morgrim. And they're going to use Hyper Blower with Iron Bundle. So that's going to push out our Team Rocket's Koffing, which actually I'm okay with that because that preserves this Koffing with the energy on it. And I'm just going to retreat into another Team Rocket's Koffing for the meantime. They're going to evolve into Frostlass with the Freezing Shroud ability. Again, that will put 1 damage counters to all Pokemon, including theirs, with abilities on them. So actually, that's going to be able to help us knock out their Grimmsnarl easier. And I think this is a winnable matchup because we do have a maximum potential of dealing 320 damage So we can actually one-hit knock out their Grimmsnarl EX. But now, they're gonna attack with Grimmsnarl here. And they're gonna deal 30 damage to our bench Pokemon as well. So that will knock out our Koffing, but that also activates our Smog Signal's ability. And we can set up another Koffing on our bench. Up to 2, but we can only fit 1. So I'll just get another Team Rocket's Koffing. That's gonna get my opponent 1 prize. So let's go ahead and promote our Team Rocket's Koffing. All the while, Frostlass ability is taking effect on all of our Pokemon with abilities. I'm gonna use Super Rod to recover these 2, because we actually need all 8 Koffing, Weezing lineup on our board to deal a lot of damage to this Grimmsnarl. Let's go ahead and use Nest Ball to get Fezandipity EX. That way we can guarantee our cards. We got Professor's Research with Pokegear though. I'm gonna take that. So let's go ahead and get 7 cards, draw into 7 cards. 3 more with Flip the Script. And we got Area 0. Look at that. I think we got this, guys. So we can expand our bench. And, oh, actually, we can only just fit 3 more cards on our bench. It's not gonna be enough to get a knockout here. But we have all the Koffings. Look at this. Can attach this energy. Oh, we're only dealing 280. We have Defiance Band though. Oh, we're not behind on prizes. Okay, I actually just wasted that Defiance Band. I'm gonna go ahead and discard the 2. I'm gonna evolve this Weezing, that way they can't get a knockout from it. And I'm just gonna deal 280. Explode together now. And their Frostlass is probably just gonna finish it off in just 2 turns. Unless my opponent can heal, we can get an easy 2 prize for that. So for our next turn, we have Professor's Research, which is a pretty strong supporter card to get us more cards. But slowly but surely, my opponent's Grimmsnarl EX is at the brink of being knocked out. But like I said, we do have potential to one-hit knock out their Grimmsnarl. But from what we have, we really didn't have everything that we needed. First of all, Fezandipity EX did fill the bench, preventing us from getting all 8. And we didn't have all the Koffing that we needed anyways, but that's okay. Their Frostlass is going to be their downfall. But they are going to grab TM Devolution though. They're going to evolve into another Grimmsnarl EX. Again, activating its ability to accelerate energies to their Marnie's Pokemon. So now they have a backup attacker. But they're just probably going to give up 2 prizes from this Grimmsnarl. So at the end of our turn, if they can't heal it, it will just get knocked out. And if they attack with the Grimmsnarl on their bench, maybe we can take a knockout. But we have to empty out our bench so that we can get that full damage output. Alright, my opponent's gonna set up another Impidimp. And they're just gonna attack. Alright. Thankfully, they weren't able to remove our Area 0 because we'll be discarding a lot of our cards if we do that. Alright, they're gonna knock out our Team Rocket's Weezing in the active. They put 30 damage to our Fezandipity EX. And now, I mean, I could just probably attack with one of our other Pokemon. But it really depends on what energy we can get from Professor's Research. Okay, we got another Team Rocket's Weezing. That's actually gonna prevent us from getting damaged by Frostlass. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, we got Reversal Energy. Perfect! So we can actually take a knockout with Weezing, since my opponent has taken more prizes than we have already. Let's go ahead and use flip the script first though. Oh, you know what? We have Counter Catcher. We can actually take 2 knockouts here. So you know what? I'm gonna target this Shaman. We can actually knock it out with Weezing's attack, because we're dealing 50 damage, enough to knock it out. And then the damage to their bench will actually finish off their Grimmsnarl EX as well. Alright. 3 prizes. Look at that. Not too bad, man. Now, Weezing is in the active. If my opponent attempts to knock this guy out, we'll flip a coin. And if it's heads, we'll take this Grimmsnarl along with us, and we're gonna get 2 prizes to win this game. So unless my opponent has boss's orders, they run the risk of just losing this game just by attacking and knocking out our Weezing. Man, I really love this combination. First of all, I love this Let's Have a Blast Weezing. It's been one of my favorite cards to play with. But now with Team Rocket's Weezing as a really strong attacker, I think Weezing is just really awesome. It's just a really awesome Pokemon. It's actually one of my favorite Pokemon as well. And I think Pokemon also likes it too, because there's a lot of variants that's really strong. But my opponent's going to use Counter Catcher. They're going to target Fezandipity EX. You're gonna get 2 prizes for knocking it out. They can knock out our Koffing with 30 damage on it already. So they can get 3 prizes, but 3 prizes, okay. This is still anybody's game, actually. Alright, they're gonna knock out Weezing. The ability doesn't work if it's not in the active, so we're not gonna flip a coin. Okay, well, we have a lot of HP to get through here, but it is possible. So let's go ahead and I thought we really had that game though, but we do have Team Rocket's Weezing. We have Arvin. Oh, I think we got this though. Let's evolve this guy first. And then, yeah, we have 2. We have our 3rd one. Yeah, we got this. Yo! I think we got this. All we have to do is just recover the other 2 Koffings. So I'm going to use Arvin to get Super Rod. And then we're just going to recover our Koffing. 2 of our Koffings. And then, yeah, we're going to be able to deal the maximum damage output for our Team Rocket's Weezing. Alright. So let's go ahead and just use Precious Trolley. Let's go ahead and energize our Weezing first. Get the last 2 Koffings that we need to fill our bench. There it is, 8 Koffing and Weezing, and we're dealing 320 damage. Explode together now to one-hit knock out their Grimmsnarl EX to get us our last 2 prizes, winning us the game. There it is, guys. GG's. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.